You are now entering the box. Hey, we are back on another episode of Inside the Box here with my sister from another mister. No, my sister-in-law is here, Lindsey Winkler. Welcome, Lindsey.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for coming on. And I'm going to start this at the beginning here before I forget a question that I ask every business owner guest. Hardest part of being a small business owner. So just keep that in the back of your head. We're going to revisit it at the end.
Sounds good.
Lindsey here is my wife's sister, and she recently opened up Wild Thorn Beauty. Do you want to give us a little studio?
Yeah.
Yes, give us a little intro what that is.
So I feel like, especially in the beauty industry, especially in the Midwest, we don't have an aesthetic studio that just specializes in those services. So with coming in with Wild Thorn, I wanted to only focus on those services, not a jack of all trades, a master of one. So when you come into the studio, we have multiple artists, lash artist, microblading artist, skincare revision therapist. So everybody specializes in their specific niche. Instead of going to a hair salon and getting wax at the shampoo bowl, you get to come into one of our treatment rooms, and we specialize in waxing.
Yeah.
And
that's a good thing to do too, because the way you stated that is very good. Just a lot of businesses, like you said, they try to just do a lot or do it all, but then don't become like super good at one thing.
Yeah. So I definitely feel like in my career, I got to really focus on permanent makeup. And that was definitely with entering with Wild Thorn, was I wanted to kind of train everybody else in like the waxings that I do and be able to share all the information that I've learned from being able just to hone in on all the aesthetic services. Because I started as a makeup artist, me and Jessica,
Right.
We're the dynamic duo. Jessica's killer at updos. So, and she has been in the industry for a lot longer than me. So she would have the clientele, and then she's like, hey, check out my sister. She's really good at makeup. And then we would do all the bridal parties and quinceañeras
For
and
sure.
all different things.
And some awesome Halloween makeup.
Yes. Love me some special effects.
If anyone ever saw any of my good Halloween costumes, most of that was credit to Lindsey as far as my scrapes and gashes, and those were fun.
I love Halloween. Definitely my favorite month.
Yeah. Well, one thing I do want to say, a lot of people don't know Lindsey and I guess on a personal level, you could say, but we have had disagreements in the past. We've bumped heads, but I do want to say I think we've gotten past that, and Lindsey, I love you as a sister.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm very proud of what you've built and what you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That means a lot. Definitely two strong personalities colliding, and we both go hard for our family.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's kind of where the disagreements lie. But over time,
Kind of
we
accepting
definitely,
that,
we realize
family's mutual now.
Yeah, we're all fighting for the same cause. So direct our energy in the same direction for sure.
Well, like I said, I think it's been, especially for what I do, I think it's cool to watch what you've done because you've built your business. I mean, yeah, I think you had some help from Jessica, like you said, just having the clientele, the background, be able to recommend you. But a lot of your business was built through social media.
Yeah, very organically. So that's like when I came into Wild Thorn and the pandemic and having employees now, it was time to kind of pivot. And that was one of the hardest checks to let go, was the marketing check, because I've never had to do that before.
Yeah.
Everything's been word of mouth, and that's like really the best way and the most efficient. When you see something on somebody else's face and women start to talk about it,
For sure.
it's like, oh, I love this service. You should definitely invest. It changes your life. So, and I'm so grateful for what I do, because when I did Open Wild Thorn, I could focus on the permanent makeup, which I'm most passionate about. And with, we were just talking about like continuing education classes and how they have made everything virtual. So I do want to get into other things. You know, there's not I really want to get into areolas, like because nipple tattooing.
Oh.
Yeah, it's so realistic.
For like breast cancer type things.
Yes, survivors, because I've been in contact
before,
with a lot of cancer patients.
Yeah,
and
you donated some brows to one.
Yeah,
for those
yeah.
that don't know.
And
that was for Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
And just like a lot of other people that book appointments, whether it's thyroid issues, or I had a young man come in and he had alopecia problems.
Now, is that because they lose hair during that stuff?
Right.
So you help do like the brows and whatnot?
Yeah, just give them a sense of normalcy through all that craziness and all that change.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I still feel like myself. I still feel very put together without trying at all. And that's the thing about going to a microblading artist, that it's really good about what they are, very well diverse in what they do, is they can create a shape that's best for your face, and that really enhances all your other facial features. So it's when amazing. You don't have any hair on your head, you can have a statement brow and still feel put together.
So wear that hat and then look good.
Yeah, you're so cute.
No, it's really actually. Let's just pull up some pictures, Ryan. You want to go ahead and pull up a couple? I don't know. I'm guessing probably not many. Most women probably know what it is at this point.
Definitely.
But microblading is basically like almost tattooing eyebrows on.
Yeah, it's a more superficial tattoo. So you get all those individualized hair strokes. So back in the day, you had like very harsh tattoos that implanted the pigment super deep. So you had scar tissue. With this, it fades between 1 and 5 years. So eventually, if you never want it on your face, it will fade out completely with no scarring, no nothing, because it's so superficial.
Yeah.
So I have clients that want to change, and they can. You have that. But yeah, super natural, really pretty, and then you never have to fill in your brows. But it's really rewarding when you get those people that have no eyebrows, like I just did.
Yeah. Is that working?
For some reason, the Chrome's not pulling up.
Oh, okay. Well, we're not going to pull up the examples, but we'll be sure to link those, so go check it out.
Definitely.
This is always, we're always trying to like change things and try things on here, and every day is a little bit of a learning process. So, but it's pretty amazing. Like she said, we've been helping with their social media now and videos and stuff, and I've just been seeing it a long time since she got started. It's pretty cool to see what it does. And my biggest thing is, when you started it, I knew it was, and I don't know if women think about it like this at all, but this is exactly how I would think about it. Is I'm like, so how much time does a normal woman spend like doing her eyebrows in the morning? And when I talked to you about it, you said like 10, 15 minutes at least. And I look at everything on how time you don't have. That's the only thing you can't buy. It's the only thing you don't have. There's only so much time in a day. So I was like, man, saving 15 minutes a day, every single day for. What does it cost about to do my
for $4.15?
Yeah, for $4.15 for I was like, that pays for itself. It's crazy the
time and time
saving.
Again, so practical. I loved when we did our gift card Black Friday special. I had so many men come in there and purchase gift cards, and I'm like, this is the gift that we'll keep on giving
for their significant others.
Nice. A very practical gift that. It's hard to be artistic every single day and create 2 symmetrical brows and have them look the same color as they did the day before.
Yeah.
So
we did a video for her recently for anybody that wants to check it out. It's kind of the process of doing it, and I had never seen the whole process, so it was cool for me to watch it too. That was very interesting. Yeah,
the whole purpose of that video was to make people feel more comfortable, because I have so many clients that are like, oh, I stayed up last night watching these horrible YouTube videos. And I'm like, we have to come out with our own. It's not that traumatic, I promise you. And then after everybody goes through the experience, it's like, oh wow, I thought it was going to be so much more painful, so much more harsh.
Yeah.
Especially the healing process. Everybody always gets so nervous, but I'm telling you, that brow butter that Amy made for us, she's an herbalist here in town. We were using yes, it helps you heal so fast. You get so much pigment retention.
And it's local.
Yes. And awesome. It's all organic, all natural. So we love that stuff.
That is cool. That's cool. You had her. How'd you guys connect?
Me and Amy have known each other for a long, long time. We worked together back in the day at Wet Seal at White Oaks
Oh,
Mall.
So
She
is
was
that
this-
place still there?
No, it went bankrupt like so many years ago.
White Oaks.
And then we went to icing together and worked there. And then she moved. And then started her herbalist journey. And then I was doing yoga pretty heavy. And then we got into herbs. And I was
Nice.
like, there has to be something better. And there is definitely something better. And she created it.
That's
which
cool.
yeah, local supporting local for sure.
Now, Lindsey, before she started, it's always kind of weird, like talking to somebody that I know a lot about. So it's like I'm not asking. I got to like frame it like I know a little bit, but then let you explain. But let's talk about a little bit like at the very start. Like you said, you were doing makeup, and then you transitioned, you pivoted, which was a very smart move, obviously. How did that come about? Like, how did you decide? Like, you know what I mean? When did you make that decision?
Yeah. So I started, first conversation was with Jessica. I said, hey, I just found out I'm pregnant. I need a career, something that's going to be able to provide. And I'm very artistic. So something that I'm going to be passionate about, because I feel like when you're passionate about something, success kind of follows.
For sure.
So I had the conversation, like, I think I'm ready to start cosmetology school. Went to USCA, hate doing hair, hate it. And aesthetics was so my calling. So I finished early, got to hang out in the aesthetics classroom with our amazing trainer, Lindsey, and then went to the salon that Jessica was at and started as the only esthetician. It was so much fun. I got to create the menus. So that was a good segue for eventually opening my own business, right? Like, yeah, all part of the process. And then I started building a clientele, building a name slowly but surely. It's a grind when you first come out of school.
Yeah, especially in that industry.
Yeah, you're getting 40%, you're waxing tooties. It's like, man, I need more. And then you get hungry and people kind of hype you up and you see you start to realize your worth.
Yeah.
And then you kind of get pushed out of the door in this industry. It's kind of a dog-eat-dog world.
Oh, you want to make more, but it's like,
yeah,
especially at a commission,
and you got to take that jump.
Yeah, especially at a commission salon. They're taking their cut, and it's like,
yeah, and it's like, really, what are you providing? Yeah, a good room, but it's like, I'm ready for more. Yeah. So I feel like, it's all been very, I don't want to say organic again, but again, it's just kind of pushed me through and propelled me through. And then I went to a self-proprietor, which is just like an independent contractor out of a booth rent salon. Mm-hmm. And then again, a lot more learning curves.
But when did so you were doing makeup. At what point did you catch on to this, like microblading? Because that was the first big transition.
Yeah, first big transition was I was at a commission-based salon and then went to another commission-based salon, and I apprenticed. So at the salon that I was working at, she just had got certified, not very comfortable with it. I was naturally very comfortable with it. I had been creating brows for a long time.
Mm-hmm. So you're used to what you want it to look like.
I think it's a lot of visual, right? Like I can see something that's not there that I can put there and will enhance. So very visual. And then that relationship, I was working too hard.
Did you see how did you find out about microblading?
Continuing Education magazine. I was tinting brows for so long, and I was like, there has to be a service that lasts longer, looks more natural. And I was reading a Continuing Education magazine, and they talked about this service that was going to change the industry, and the class was in the UK. And I actually told my dad, which has always been a pretty positive supporter of mine. I said, hey, I might need a small loan because I'm going overseas to take this class. Of course, he thought I was crazy. And then upon more research, I found a class out of Chicago. Yeah.
Going to
and Jessica was actually my model, and I had been waxing and tinting her for a long time. And then that night I did mine in the hotel room. I was like, I love this service and I want it done on myself.
Yeah. Well, I remember when you started doing it, I was like, man, that's crazy, just the time it saves. And I mean, most women probably aren't thinking of it that way. They're probably thinking of it of just,
man, these brows look so good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just think about I know Jessica and I in the morning, we're rushing to get the kids ready and I'm rushing to get out the door. She usually has a little bit more time, but just an extra 15 minutes to spend with your kids every morning or relax for a second. It's just crazy. Or an extra 15 minutes of sleep. Like, that's 15 minutes is a long time. That's a quarter of an hour.
And 15 minutes is if you're pretty good at drawing out eyebrows. Most people, it's longer. Yeah.
Wow. But I remember I was like, man, that's crazy. Because really, you were, at least I feel like, I mean, obviously I'm probably out of the loop on women's makeup and stuff, but I felt like, I remember thinking like, man, she's like the first person in the area to be doing this.
Yeah.
It really felt like.
Yeah, I was definitely like in on it pretty early. And that was just by fate and following, the path that I was
a little
on.
bit of fate. You were reading, you're researching, you're honing your, staying interested in what you were doing and looking what's new, trending and everything.
Yeah, but definitely fall into the right salon at the right time.
Yeah.
She had just got into it. She really wasn't confident with it, and I was the exact opposite. And that's why that relationship kind of went south, because I was so much better than her.
Was it like getting into that? Was it like scary? Doing that on people's faces?
I get that asked a lot, but no, I don't think it's scary. I think it's so rewarding. I mean, like a lot of feedback from the video that we shot not that long ago about the whole experience was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize there was so much blood. And it's like,
I remember asking him like, so is it okay to show us this blood? It seems kind of crazy.
This?
I mean, it's kind of good to know though, I guess. And just, I don't know.
Yeah. So when I first started, public health made you have these like bio, hazard bags that you had to like put all your waste in, and but then since I
realize it's not as crazy.
Yeah, you don't have to have biohazard bags. There's really not a lot of blood, and there's epinephrine in the second numbing, which is a blood restrictor. So after that second pass, blood pretty much dissipates.
And I mean, if you think about just like getting a paper cut, or so, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to bleed. Like, it's, and
you got to think the face is so vascular. So, I mean, you're comparing it to your hand, yes.
It's not like you have a gash that's bleeding everywhere. I mean, I guess in a video it can look a little crazy, but.
Well, yeah, and then you're putting pigment on top of it. So, and then you're putting a secondary numbing. So you think it's a lot more blood than it actually is, but.
Yeah, there's other stuff mixed in there with it.
Yeah.
As she said, she was at you're renting a space for a while. How has the transition been from the renting a space to now like having, I mean, you were a business before, but it was just you. That's all you had to worry about. And I know from running a business, having employees, how tough it is, how many headaches there are. How has that experience been for you?
Amazing and scary all at the same time, right? Because you have that, I perform well under pressure. So that's how I knew I had to take this next leap of faith in opening my own salon and expanding and being able to teach. But it does teach you a lot about yourself, like with working with other people. Yeah, because I got really comfortable in that 4 years when it was just me, come and go. I'm just communicating with the client. But yeah, now it's like you have employees. It's like, am I communicating efficiently with you as what I want you to execute? And then on top of that is training and making sure that your employees have the confidence and the skill set that they need to do to perform these services just as well as you do. Because again, just like it took me so long to build up my reputation and my name, my employee that,
now you're kind of putting your name on there with your business. That is a scary thing. And, like when I hired, gone through hiring or whatever, and, I've had to let go of different aspects of the business and let them kind of trust them to do things. One of Ryan came to me one time because he was letting go of something he was doing for another teammate to do it. He's like, it's kind of hard to let go of that, to trust them to do it. I was like, I know. I was like, think of that. I'm trying to let go of not everything, but I'm trying to, let you guys run with stuff. Think how hard it is for me to let go of all these aspects.
Absolutely. Super hard.
Because, you just have a way that you do it and a way you want it to look and a way you want it to be. And it's like, not everybody's going to be the exact same as you. So you got to let a little bit of freedom.
Yeah. But on the counterpart to that is like, I did get so comfortable for 4 years of it only being my ideas and being able to collaborate with other like-minded people. I feel like the business can just propel even more because I am bringing on people that are like-minded and very ambitious.
Right.
So we can collab on ideas, and I'm very grateful that I've for the employees that I have now. I think that was one of that everything happened so fast, but that was one thing that happened this year is I had to let go of my first employee, which was like a really awkward situation. Yeah.
It's better to, I guess one suggestion I can give there is I feel like when you have somebody that's not either like vibing or you just, typically it seems like you feel it right away. I don't know if you felt that way, but like I've had a couple people I've had to let go. And after like the first week or two, like I was just kind of like, I don't know if I'm feeling this or not. You know what I mean? And it seems like with the ones that have stayed, I almost knew right away. I was like, all right, this is going to work out well. I could tell. But the other ones is, and then like a couple, one of them I kind of let drag out, and I probably should have just let him go earlier when I knew it. You know what I mean? But yeah, it seems like sometimes you can tell. I guess how has your experience been? Did you feel right away, or was it like...
No, I'm such a bad judge of character. I see the good in everybody. I'm like, it's
Positive
okay.
here,
Yeah, well,
it'll get better.
Literally, let's just talk about it, okay? Like, we can have difference of opinions.
That is a big thing, though. And I've talked about that a lot, is like just being able to have a conversation and be open and trying to make people feel like that is how it is. And I try to do that. I don't know how good of a job I can do. You'd have to ask my team. But I'm always like, if something's wrong, just talk to me. Tell me. Let's talk about it. If you don't like something I'm doing or you have an opinion, like in the end, more minds are better than one. So
absolutely,
there might be a way that I want something done, but I'm open to suggestions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and maybe my way isn't comfortable for you, so it's not as efficient as your way. So you can do your way, I can do my way, and we can still get the same end goal. Mm-hmm. That's definitely not how it happened in my situation, right. But just like we can have a conversation. But yeah, that was one of the things that I didn't think that it would happen this early in the game, especially because with this, I did teach her so much for so long. So
you had kind of an investment in it.
I'm very invested in all my employees. I feel like you kind of have to be.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then it sucks definitely if someone leaves and you like spent a lot of time with them. It's like, God, I just wasted so much time.
Yeah, like I wish I could have just but again, part of the game.
Yeah. So your opening a business was definitely a little different than what I went through. I rented a spot, but I don't have a lot of people coming in, so I was just able to slowly build, put stuff on the walls, do random stuff in here. Mm-hmm. You had to go through opening like a storefront and having an inside that people are coming into and everything. How was that process?
On top of a pandemic that no one has
for sure. Through. I didn't even think about. We forgot to mention that. Yeah, because you opened right when it started.
Right. So the opening date originally was supposed to be April 1st, 2021.
And this all started in March.
Yeah. So
2020.
2020. Yeah. Okay. Then the pandemic hit, and then all salons weren't able to practice at all.
So you were because you'd put money down, you're invested, the construction's getting done, and then it's like, hey, there's a pandemic.
Literally. Yeah. So it was like everything happened at once. Like, not only are you so fearful of just opening a business for the first time and having employees for the first time, but it's like no one could have ever projected this pandemic. And I can remember getting on the phone with the banker and saying, oh, you didn't predict the plague? You didn't put this in your business plan? Oh, no, I definitely missed that.
Yeah, for sure.
But I can remember when I went back into cosmetology school, however many years ago, 7-8 years ago, and my mom was like, this is one of those things that if anything, like if shit was really to hit the fan, people are still going to come. Women are not going to want to give that up. And that has reigned true. It honestly has. I've been very grateful that in this pandemic, I have had the storefront that I do. So it's a lot more space, because the place that I was at before, it was 13 hairstylists. It was me in a back room. Now at the studio, most of the time, it's just me in this big old studio. So it's really clean, it's really safe. So that's been really grateful. That's been a really good thing during this time as well. And then but everything that people tell you to kind of prepare you for, like, it went out the window because everybody had to pivot. Everything what you knew is not what you know now.
Yeah, that was tough. That was crazy that I remember feeling so bad for you, actually. Now that you bring it up, because I was like, oh my gosh, it's supposed to open, and there's a friggin' pandemic going on.
Yeah.
And I knew you had so much money invested in getting it all going, and then, rent was going to start and all this stuff. And, being in a strip mall, I know it's not cheap. Like having like a nice storefront.
Yeah.
There's a price that comes with that.
Premium.
And I know you had like all kinds of like cool like launch events you wanted to do and stuff, and just kind of all got the kibosh.
Yeah. But
so
I mean, again, it's been
learning experience.
Yeah, it's a learning experience for sure. And yeah, you just learn so much and just know what to do moving forward, how to like trim the fat and be as most efficient as possible. Like the days that I'm there, I try to give myself as many clients as possible.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was neat when you were first getting started, like we were talking about, you started a lot of this. You had a huge Instagram primarily. I mean, you weren't even using Facebook for a long time.
I hate Facebook.
If you're watching this on Facebook, she doesn't mean it. No, that's what I thought was really cool, because Instagram was huge at the time already, obviously. But it was, how old are you?
28.
So you're really a pretty young business owner and started doing very well for yourself very young. And it was cool to me, like I said, because we're a social media company, and just seeing you do that using Instagram primarily and word of mouth and whatnot. But
yeah, and it's so visual, like what I do. So I need to be able to have a platform where I can just shoot out all my work.
And Instagram is basically
and
pictures.
And it's so fun. I love doing what I do. So the fact that I was able to get that following so fast and have it happen so organically,
because you were doing, you were even traveling to Decatur and stuff.
That was fun. And people still nowadays like hit me up and say, hey, you want a guest spot in Champaign, or you want a guest spot over here? But I love the studio. I hate packing everything up. It's fun.
And maybe people don't know exactly what that means. It's like a guest spot. So maybe elaborate a little bit on what that is, how that worked out.
Yeah. So, the only time that I paired up with someone was in Decatur at Mint Salon. Randy came over and had an appointment. She was like, hey, would you ever be interested in coming over to Decatur at my salon? I was like, absolutely. She booked me all day. I had a lot of clientele in Decatur. I still do. And so that was fun. I would go
her place and just do your thing, basically.
Yep. She had a room set up. I would go over there it started out as once a month, and then it went to once or twice a month, and then it was once a week. And I was like, no, this is too much.
It's a lot of driving.
A lot of driving, and it always would stink if you got no-showed in between. You're like, man.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So.
No-shows are already bad enough, but if you're traveled an hour and then you're getting no shows.
Yeah, it's like, what the heck? I just want to be home with my baby. But it was super fun, and got to expand my clientele even further, because there was even people from Champaign. And now it's really cool when people are like telling you that they drive 4 hours to get their eyebrows done, or an hour and a half, or from Chicago or wherever.
Have you had people come 4 hours?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
And mostly just found on social media.
Social
media,
those people. Word of mouth. Yeah.
That's cool. Does how about this new stuff? I know you started TikTok. You've been putting stuff on there.
I have one TikTok. It's a great video.
Is it just fun one, or are you using it for business? Fun one.
I don't know how to do it, and I don't know how to do reels either. I'm just super old school with my Instagram. It is kind of weird
to get used to it. The Reels thing, for some reason, on Instagram was really complicated to me. I don't know why. I'm like a tech guy. I'm like, why is this so weird?
Yeah.
We'll have to look at TikTok though, because I feel like especially with what you're doing, and like when I see people's stuff on there, I do think I'm like, man, I feel like this would be good for her.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's just like, my technology mind isn't there.
Well, what I've found too is, as you like own a business and you're running the business, it's hard to as you keep focusing on that stuff, and that's exactly like we're helping you with posting to Facebook and doing a lot of that stuff. And that's what a lot of our customers run into is they like doing it, like posting on social media and, having that interaction. But as you get busy with employees and paying bills and managing the business, it's so hard to stay on top of that stuff. It's only, like I said, there's only so much time in a day.
Yeah, I'm lucky that I still like to do it. I mean,
Right.
That's how I grew my business, and it's because I like it.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful that they kind of parallel and line up that way, that it's beneficial to the business
sure.
and it's still a creative outlet for me.
Yeah. And I remember when we first started talking, and I just remember, I remember I said to you, I'm like, look, you grew your business on Instagram. I kind of feel like you should do Instagram yourself. Yeah. And then, we'll just make sure we're getting it on Facebook and, put the money behind it and everything. Because it is important, because in the end, like, I know that, we're good at what we do, but especially for someone like you that grew their whole business on Instagram, like, it's hard. We're never going to have the same caption as you or have, do the same thing. So it's when you've seen someone have success with it, it's, you want to encourage them to keep at least being involved in it. You know what I mean? And that's what I tell all of our customers, I say, I encourage you to post, but let's just make sure it's coordinated somewhat. So it's not like, you post right now and then all of a sudden 10 minutes later our post goes up and we drowned out your post.
Yeah. But
good.
I feel like no post is a bad post.
Right.
Yeah, even if mine does get drowned, I mean, I just want the content to be out there. I just want my work to be shown.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I am the best at what I do, especially in this area. So I want to get it out there. So
well, you got to have that. I mean, you got to have that confidence, and I think people recognize that, though. I mean, you could tell from your success. I think people recognize that you're freaking good at what you do.
Yeah, and Wild Thorn's just a good vibe. It's a good place. I'm so glad that I did get to create that environment to share with my clients, because I was working at several salons, and you have all these ideas that run through your head, and you're like, man, I can't wait for the day to execute on these. I can't wait till
If I was doing it, it'd be like this.
Yeah, it would be so much better. And if there was a situation that came up, I know I could handle it better, and I would just all for the client. So,
yeah, and if someone's watching this hasn't been there, it's right over kind of by Lowe's, Mr. Battery, the new Luminary.
Grab Java.
Luminary, right?
Yeah.
And Grab a Java right over there on the west side. It's a very cool place, and definitely gotta go check it out.
Good vibe. Yeah, get a service.
So what's next? What are you thinking? You keeping an eye on what's happening? Is there any new services coming out? I know you said the
aerial tattoo. I'm definitely
thing.
taking lots of classes coming up.
Staying on top of your game.
Yeah, and just training with Olivia more and more. She's gonna touch me up, so I'm super excited. Yeah, she's got $100 off all her microblading services for this month and then next month.
I just want to kind of say something, because I could see somebody like being scared to go to somebody new that's just getting started, but I mean that was you at one point,
right?
And it's not a cheap service by any means. I mean, it is if you look at the time it saves, but someone getting $100 off on it is pretty sweet. And then not only that, Lindsey's overseeing stuff.
Totally. I'm there in the studio. So if Olivia ever has a question, she comes right into that room. I pop right over, make sure that I have my hand on it all the way, but I wouldn't have let her out on her own if I didn't have the utmost confidence in her.
Yeah.
Olivia is very much a perfectionist, which reminds me a lot of me. And the most important thing with this service is just less is more, right? So she knows that. I trust her judgment 100%. I'm going to trust her with my face. So, I mean, I've seen her work. We went through silicone skins. We went through pigment theory. Like, this girl knows what she's doing, so I wouldn't put her out there. I mean, at the end of the day, there's no rush. There's so many other services that she could be offering, but she's ready for this. And people that don't want to wait a couple months or a couple weeks to get in with me, then by all means, Olivia's your girl.
Yeah.
And that was, again, the vision of the studio, was to teach other estheticians this service.
How does it feel to be providing and helping, providing somebody a career and helping them grow in that career?
amazing.
It's kind of neat, huh?
Yeah, it's super neat. And like, again, with the commission-based salon I was at, like, you tapped out. Like, growth was, they set, the bar. Like, this is as far as you can grow within this company. And that's not how it is at Wild Thorn. Like, eventually, if you have the clientele and you have the business, and like, you can eventually booth rent. I mean, we're a commission-based salon, but that's not where the bar is. I mean, these people could eventually be my business partners. So the sky's the limit.
So you're open-minded on what's going to happen.
Yeah, you gotta be. I'm so open-minded. And at the end of the day, like, the girls that I hire, the girls that I work with, they are very much partners already. So for them to come on as far as like having other responsibilities in the business will only benefit me as well.
Help take some of the stress. It's hard being the only person running something. So I was talking about this on the last podcast. Corey, who's my old boss at Ace, he was talking about how it's nice because he's got his two cousins that are partners with him that own the business, and they can talk about problems and try to figure out what's going on and how to solve them. And I was like, well, imagine not having two other people and you trying to figure it all out on your own. And I mean, I do have like my brother and whatever, he's never owned a business, but he's just a smart guy, so. There are some people that I talk to and some other business owners sometimes I'll ask questions to, but in general though, nobody knows this business, so the decisions that I have to make, what I mean?
Yeah, there's so many pros and cons. Like, yeah, pro is that you're not arguing with anybody and like having those tumultuous conversations and like bumping heads with somebody that you really care about, because we've all seen that happen in business, But then on the opposite side, it's like, wow, I have nobody to bounce ideas off of or come to me with an idea or like take the burden of this responsibility or go run and do this. But my almost 8-year-old daughter is very active in the business. So I have a feeling one day she's going to be exactly that.
There you go. She is in there. She's learning what's going on.
She is.
I was watching actually a TikTok last night, and it was like this business guy, and it was like, tell me, it was like a split thing, and it was like a girl. She's like, tell me something that seems illegal to know. And then this dude that, I don't know, he's just a business guy. He like went into this long rant about how to like save money on taxes and stuff. And it got into at one point, it was like, because kids were forced out of school, there was something you could do. There was some sort of credit or something you could get for them being out of school. And then he was like,
I heard about that.
And then he was like, and then since they're out of school anyway, you just hire them. You could pay them up to $12,000 a year, and then tax free. And he like went into all this thing, and I'm like, oh, you can pay your kid. Is my kid old enough for that? Does he justify him doing something?
Yeah.
But it was just kind of funny to listen to, because that's what I was thinking about. Like, because Briella's in there all the time, and she's at a point where you go sweep the floor. And, I can justify paying you.
Yes. Yeah. Here's $5. I know. I told her I was going to.
$12,000.
Yeah.
I'll give you $5.
It's all going to college either way.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's funny. How has it been? One thing I knew was going to be challenging is starting a business and having a child that was as young as Briella is. And now, especially with the pandemic, she was out of school.
Again, another blessing, right? Blessing on blessing on blessing, because I work with a bunch of amazing women, all my clients, amazing women. They understand that mothering comes first, right?
Yeah.
And I'm teaching her skills that otherwise she wouldn't have learned in school. Social skills. Everybody talks about how welcoming and how not shy and social Briella is. And I do feel like it's because of that atmosphere. And yeah, she's just a sweet little girl, and she asks them if they want a beverage when they come in.
Nice.
She's learning money skills. Yeah, she's learning how to communicate, how to shut down a business, how to run a business, the sacrifice of a business.
Yeah.
So a lot of things that she would have otherwise not had the opportunity to be right there front row to see mommy accomplish.
So. Are you like, I know like one thing I started doing when I was around her, at a young age, and I could see her being very like, what's the word I want to use?
Responsive?
Well, just like, I just remember I made the decision at one point to really explain why I'm telling her something. Like, I'm like, don't do that. But then, at first I was just saying no. And then I was like, well, I don't want to just be the no guy. the no uncle. Why is he always telling me no?
And Briella's so inquisitive. It's like,
Yeah.
why no?
Yeah, so then I would just, explain it like, well, this is what happens when you do that, and it leads to this, and I just would try to slowly do it, and it seems like in my head, I'm like, just doing that is so much better than just telling a kid no.
Definitely.
So anyway, what I was getting to is when you're going through that stuff with her and she's there for that, are you like talking with her about it and explain what's going on?
Yeah, I try to have her as involved as possible and explain to her what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. That way
cool.
She's more empowered to make better decisions. And yeah, I feel like that's definitely worked.
For sure. So, what was I gonna say? I just lost track of thought there.
Been doing so good. It's been flowing.
Had a break.
It's about to happen.
No, so let's just jump to that question because it usually leads into a pretty good conversation. What has been the toughest part about running your small business?
Balance. When I decided I was going to open this business, it was a lot of stress and just a lot of worry, right? Like no one wants to put themselves in an uncomfortable situation, especially coming out of one room that I was paying a very low amount and keeping all the revenue. That's a very comfortable situation.
For sure.
And then it's like, all right.
I was actually surprised you were doing it a little bit.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if I would do that if I was her. I was like, there's a lot of stress that comes with the business. But like you said, you want to like do stuff and try stuff and
give these women careers, right? Like I saw the impact that it had on my life and like how awesome it is to come into a studio, work really hard, be able to have that like gratification that you get from your clients about telling you how amazing you made them feel, your work. I mean, it's a great environment, and I want to create that amongst other estheticians and also give Springfield something that it's been missing, which is an aesthetic studio. This is where we specialize in those fine-tuned detail that create a better overall picture. Mm-hmm. This isn't your hairstylist waxing you at a shampoo bowl,
right.
So yeah, there was a lot of reasons to go into business on top of like my own personal reasons and to prove it to myself. And I feel like eventually you just get to the point that it's like you can't grow anymore. I was trying to train people in that, right. But it's just like that's not conducive. So it's like you got to go to the next leap. You got to step up. And it's only been good, but definitely the hardest part, especially with being a single mom, is the balance of it all. But you learn how to weave everything together and make a stronger cloth from all those fibers. So it's all good.
Because you were, I remember, I was like, man, she's used to just going and traveling whenever she wants. And, hanging out and whatever. I was like, it's a little different when you got a business and employees and you got problems and stuff you got to address, bills to be paid. I've definitely tried to automate bills as much as possible so I don't miss any. I'm like, just auto charge that thing so I don't got to mess with it. How about, one thing we didn't get into is guy services.
Yeah.
People think that, it's just a beauty salon or a beauty studio for women. Mm-hmm. But you do a lot of stuff for guys also.
I love doing services on men just because I feel like they are overlooked when it comes to...
Well, there's probably what's the word I'm looking for? Like a guy probably feels like weird going in there or something.
I hope
like
not.
Some guys though, not all, but some definitely.
Yeah.
I know when the first time I ever got my eyebrows waxed, I was like, I don't want to do this. This is stupid. I'll just shave them.
No. Terrible idea.
Yeah, it's not a good idea.
No.
And it lasts longer anyway.
It does last longer. It depletes the follicle, so it regenerates less and less. So you're creating more work when you shave, and it doesn't last as long, and it grows back blunt. There's definitely more options, but I feel like now men are taking care of themselves even more.
It's starting, I think, to become more of a normal thing.
And looking at your beard, again, we were on TikTok the other night, and they were waxing beards, which all that, you got to think going against the grain.
Like a short, though,
Yeah, I mean, you would have to trim it down.
Or do you mean
to a
shaping them?
Yeah, shaping with wax. It's
that's interesting.
A clean line. And again, then that hair doesn't grow back blunt. You don't have those ingrowns, the problems with ingrowns. And, ingrowns can lead to hyperpigmentation. So a lot of times on necks, you get those dark spots. Mm-hmm. So wax it.
Yeah, I've
Or-
been pretty lucky that I don't get many ingrown hairs, but I know a lot of people that shave and stuff do get them, and they're a problem.
Yeah.
So what all services do you find men getting? Like what kind of stuff?
Yeah, so waxing services for sure, like back, chest, shoulders, even other more intimate areas if you're into that too, because we do those services too. You know, that was like Jessica loves to tell that story. But all the waxing services, we
Yeah.
love to do those. And then nose waxes for men are crucial. It's just the superficial hairs, so it's just cleaner. It looks nicer. Eyebrow
She's waxed
waxes.
my nose. It's not that bad.
No, it's really not. If you haven't tried it, I highly suggest trying it.
Yeah, and guys, you see some hair sticking out of
Or
your
girls.
nose. Well, I know, but we're talking about guys. I'm just saying, guys, you see those hairs sticking out of your nose. It's a normal thing, and I've had it, and I've had her. Well, she offered to do it, probably because I had a hair sticking out of my nose, and it's not that bad.
No, it's way better than tweezing one, just removing all of them. But we have a cool new service. It's called the alkaline wash. So we're calling it our liquid laser. So it is a depilatory that goes down. So it essentially like erodes the hair. So multiple treatments are needed, but eventually you're hairless. So about 2 treatments.
So like in your center brow or something,
Yeah,
would you do that?
Yeah, you could do center brow. You could do your whole back if that's a really hairy area.
Some guys do have super hairy backs.
Yeah. Chest.
So do
top
you
of
just scrub
shoulders.
it all over the back?
So
just like
it's
soaped almost?
No, so it's an alkaline wash, so it raises the skin to like a 12 pH. So no, you don't want to do any sort of scrubbing. It's a very gentle process. It's 100% painless.
But you just like wash it all,
Yeah.
like rub
Yep.
it all over the back.
It goes all over the back. It hangs out for about 10 minutes, and then we remove it, and then we just ask that you're nice and gentle with your back, no scrubby or abrasive products, and then you come back in like either 2 or 3 weeks, and then we do it all over again in about 4 treatments, and then you'll be hairless because it goes down into that follicle and erodes it.
Huh, that's
I know.
crazy.
So that's a service that we're going to be offering come March, getting ready for spring and summer services. And then
Getting cleaned up for
facials
that
for
pool,
men.
pool and lake
Poolside.
body.
Yes. Ew. Lake body. But then facials too for men. Also, I gave you a fafacial
Yeah,
way back
felt
in the
good.
day.
I actually
Yeah.
was thinking the other day I want another one. Mine's kind of weird because I have a beard, so I get like a half facial.
I know.
I remember when you were doing it, I was like, ooh, right here. But it did feel good, and my skin felt good afterwards. And actually, I think, did I say it to Jessica? I don't remember if I said it to her or not, but I was like, I remember thinking not too long ago, I was like, I need to get another little facial from her. Just clean out the pores.
Yeah, get exfoliated, reset that skin, nice and hydrated. A lot of people are really dry and flaky right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are definitely good
It's
services to
dry
get.
times.
And-
I know we've done a tip video. If anyone's watching that, you got
Yeah.
tip for dry skin in this winter
Ciba E.
dryness.
Come in and get Ciba E because it's amazing and life-changing, and it just makes your skin more hardy and ready to absorb other products. So it's definitely a good product to have.
All right. Well, guys, get in there. Like I said, she's waxes my eyebrows, has waxed my nose, and I have gotten a facial. And it's all been good stuff.
Yeah, your friend
It
was just
doesn't-
in. I got to wax off some triangles. That was very necessary.
Yeah, don't settle for bad brows. Mine are terrible too. They get really long, like on the sides. I got like a
So
nice
coarse. They're so coarse.
They
It's
get
that
so weird.
redheads, they have so much natural hair and so
It's
coarse.
funny because I don't get like.
Because sometimes I wax you and you bleed.
Have I?
Yeah. Which is a good thing because
Yeah.
that means you totally remove the
Yeah.
bulb.
I don't get like much back hair. Like a lot of guys get back hair.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get much back hair. I do get like chest hair and stuff, but yeah. What is there any kind of like skin tone or nationality that you find have a lot more hair than most people?
I think it's, definitely nationalities. East Indian, a lot of hair. And a lot of just European people. I think it's just, again, we were talking about this earlier before. But yeah, just kind of where you're indigenous from and how your body adapted. I mean,
Right.
hair is warm. It's also very absorbing to odor, which I hate. So less body hair is best.
Oh, no stinky people up in
No.
here.
Especially men, sweaty.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
it needs to go.
Do you have anything else that any other special services or anything I would like to hit on or
Yeah.
educate people on?
So our CBD facial is rolling out in March. We're going with the all green theme for St. Patrick's Day and
Ooh, that's
my
a good
birthday
idea.
month. Yeah. So we're going to have our CBD facial, which is going to be our luxurious, most relaxing facial. So it's really just to help desensitize. A lot of good things happen when you let go of that stress. Your body just can absorb more product. So the CBD facial is our most relaxing facial, and that's going to come out in March. We've been working on a protocol very specific there's so many, and you can touch on all these, but there's so many other medicinal value and other things that CBD can help with.
Yeah.
Inflammations,
For sure.
skin. I mean, it's so good. So Emma has been hard at work working on a good massage and
Nice.
protocol for the CBD facial that we're going to come out in March. And then, we're going to just try to get,
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Yeah, CBD, it's interesting. I wish they would do some more research on it. Or maybe they do and they just don't want to, pharmaceutical companies don't want it to be out.
it's too good for them to know.
I was, and obviously I'm no scientist, but with the COVID and everything, I was curious because in general, CBD, I mean, there's no scientific proof or whatever, but it reduces inflammation in the body. And my understanding of the coronavirus is it gets into your lungs and it starts kind of attacking, and your body overreacts to the attack, and the immune system, when it overreacts to it, it causes swelling in the lungs, inflammation in the lungs, and that's when you can't breathe and people have that shortness of breath. That's my 10 minutes of research I did on it. And then in my head, I automatically connected. I'm like, well, maybe CBD would help with reducing the inflammation. I wish we could advertise that, but it, obviously there's no scientific
Yeah, do your own
proof,
research.
No scientific proof to back that up. But I can't say that, knock on wood, I've been healthy this whole time.
Yeah,
Survived
even
through
living
it.
with
everybody that's gotten it, I dodged it, whether that was out of luck or something in my. I was very adamant on taking vitamins, added like vitamin D, and then taking like CBD every day.
Yeah.
I don't know if that helped me get through it or not, but that was one thing I tried to make sure I did all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I've done some research on that too, and I think that that's definitely a good reason why you didn't catch it.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Hope it keeps that way.
Especially with this new strand coming around.
Yeah, let's keep away. We got businesses to run over here. Does real quick before we wrap up, how about that product line, that DMK?
Danae Mowgli King. He also is the inventor of BioFreeze, which a lot of people use. I
know Jessica loves what you gave her.
It's a paramedical brand, so all the ingredients are super active, and it's also chemistry-wise, it's all things that rely in your body as well. So it's very bioavailable for your body to consume. It knows all the ingredients. It's not anything unfamiliar. It's very safe for breastfeeding mothers to use.
What all stuff do you have, like for what types of things? Like I know like face wash.
Yeah. So there's cleansers. I mean, there's so many specialty items. So we say start with a cleanser and acid mantle replacement. So an acid mantle is just your natural sweat and sebation. Combined, it creates a waterproof barrier on the skin, which locks everything in. So really important during this time. So we say start with a cleanser, an acid mantle replacement, and then a moisturizer. And they are pretty pricey, but again, in this industry, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
So
A lot of industries, but yeah,
Yes.
when you're doing it to your skin and your body, like, and same with what I preach about CBD too. Make sure you're, whenever you're ingesting something or putting it on
your skin, your
it's
biggest
like,
organ of your whole body. Yeah. Treat it right. Invest in quality products, definitely. So, and then there's so many specialty products, and we're in the studio a lot of times. So if anybody needs a skin consultation or analysis or just recommendations with products and skin types, I mean, there's kits there that have a cleanser, an acid mantle replacement, and then a specialty product. So whether that's targeting hyperpigmentation or pore reduction drops or vitamin A serums. I mean, there's so many things that you can combine to achieve your skincare goals.
And most people aren't going to know themselves. They need to come talk to
Yeah, talk to the experts. Let us recommend a regimen that's going to benefit you and realistic for your lifestyle as well.
Yeah. So I think they're very knowledgeable over there. We've been, as we talked about, we've been doing a lot of videos and content for them, and a lot of interesting stuff. I think anybody that's cares about their skincare, and looking their best, like she said, they specialize in it. You're not getting, and not that there's anything wrong with it, getting waxed at the wash bowl or whatever. It's a quick, convenient, whatever. But in the end, someone that specializes in it, does that all day, pretty much every day, is gonna just be a little better at it.
A lot better.
Didn't want to beat him up too much.
I'll do it.
No, Lindsey's amazing at what she's done. She's built a business. She didn't have to take all the risks that she did to start this business, and I commend you for that.
Thank you.
Know you were doing very well beforehand and had it kind of, I don't want to say easy, but it was just convenient. You can come and go, make appointments when you want, take time off when you want, and you give a lot of that up when you open a business and start one. So it was cool to see. It's been cool to see you grow, and I really appreciate you coming on today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm also feel so proud of you and everything that you are accomplishing, and the family that you've created for my sister and the family that
and you.
Yeah. I'm definitely grateful to be a part of it, and I love you.
Yeah, you too. Love you too. And anybody that wants to check them out, wildthornbeauty.com. Again, they're located right over by Lowe's and Mr. Battery and Grab a Java and Luminary.
Hot spot.
It's popping over there, building up. And they have an awesome studio. Go check it out. Talk to them about your skincare and looking your best. Make an appointment right online. And what are the employees' names? Emma, Olivia,
Ivy.
Ivy.
Yeah.
And they're all great. They're all nice, great to talk to, and super helpful, kind people. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. So we'll link everything below, though. And, you can make appointments right online. And you said Olivia is $100 off?
Yeah, microblading services. Totally.
deal.
I get questions all the time. Are you giving discounts? I've never gave a discount. Besides
She's
my
booked out a
breast
couple months. All right, people.
But I know a girl that has a discount right now, but it won't last long either because again, this is a great service and we don't need to offer the discount, but we want to. We want to put it in everybody's hands.
Let people try it out
Yes.
and get a feel for it.
Yeah.
And it lasts a long time. Save that time. Time is money.
Yes.
Get out there.
Preach.
All right. Thanks, Lindsey. Good chatting.
All right. See ya.